Portions of the following program may have been pre-recorded.
The following program's views, claims, or ideas may not reflect those of WSRR Radio or StylesRebelRadio.com.
This is Behind Enemy Lines on WSRR Radio, where you can listen to us on the Live 365 app, or you can get us on anywhere you get your podcasts. That's with any show on WSRR Radio. I'm Lucas D'Ororazio. I'm joined by Dom Ferro. We are recording here in Bloomfield, the Bloomfield neighborhood of Pittsburgh today, not the North Shore. We like to switch it up on this show. We're all over
Back
Pittsburgh.
and forth.
We're all
detecting
over
these enemy lines.
That's right. We gotta scout it out. We're behind enemy lines. We're scouting every possible area. This is your Cleveland sports talk show, recorded in Pittsburgh. Can only get that here on WSRR Radio. 216-859-8699 is the number to call or text in if you want us to talk about something, or if you want us to scout out some of the Pittsburgh area, let you know before your next big trip, or
anywhere.
Dating advice, life advice, wedding plans. If you have literally anything that you want to text and ask us about, we're here for you. So
no judgment.
No judgment at all. I think we're
and
both
all anonymous, I believe, right?
If you want it to be.
Yeah.
If you want it to not be anonymous, it's hey, I'm not yucking anybody's yums. I'll let them do whatever they want. Dom, we're here. We're recording on September 26th. It is Thursday. Week 3 of the NFL season has just ended.
Yes, sir.
The Browns with an upsetting loss to the New York Giants, who many thought were one of the worst teams in the league, and many probably still do think are one of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was Panthers, but now Andy Dalton has revived that team.
He's resurrected
Like
the Panthers.
Undertaker.
Oh my
team's
goodness.
back.
Andy Dalton, I mean, he's been a journeyman. He's been all around the league. It seems like this year, 3 of the best quarterbacks in the league, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Derek Carr, and Andy Dalton. I mean, who would have thought that those 4 names would be like 4 of the top names in the MVP race?
And Justin Fields.
And I don't know
Maybe
about
not
that.
MVP.
I don't know about if he's playing on the same level, but
He's looking real good.
he is the head
Steelers
of
are
a
3-0.
3-0 team.
Justin Fields is 3-0.
Which is something else I wanted to talk about today. We can talk about that first even. Justin Fields, 3-0, has started to look a little bit more comfortable. It seems like they're opening up the offense a little bit more for him, maybe. It seemed like they were being really safe with him at first. Now they're, extending a couple things. Had a big 55-yard touchdown to Calvin Austin against the Chargers this week. And yeah, they're 3-0. And, early in the season, even before the season, it seemed like everyone talking about the Steelers was talking about Russell Wilson, and Justin Fields was an afterthought.
Yeah.
And personally, the whole time I thought, man, I hope that's true as a Browns fan, because I would much rather see Russell Wilson than Justin Fields. And I think Justin Fields would be better long-term for this franchise, especially playing him this year. And now, like I said, he's 3-0. Russell Wilson hasn't seen the field. You wouldn't know that from looking at him on the sidelines, because he still dresses every week.
Yeah.
But I want to hear your as a Steeler fan, I want to hear your thoughts.
I thought that the dressing on the sideline was pretty weird, but he's
a pretty weird guy.
He is a strange cat, but he's an emergency third quarterback. So he kind of has to dress. I think that was goofy when I first saw it.
He's not only the starting quarterback who's injured, he's also the emergency third quarterback.
So
he's Mr. Unlimited. He's Mr. Unlimited.
He's unlimited, all right. Apparently the Dolphins have a trade out for Russell Wilson.
Really?
I believe so.
Well, I mean,
we need to get some more details, but it involves a later round pick, I believe between the 4th and 6th round.
I mean, if you can compare whether you want Skylar Thompson or Mr. Unlimited.
Skylar Thompson might be the worst quarterback I've ever seen play in the NFL.
I don't know. Did you watch the Browns? Because Deshaun Watson has looked pretty bad. He had one good throw, first throw of the game, touchdown to Amari Cooper, but
it just cannot be worse than Skylar Thompson. It was the most frustrating game of football I've ever watched.
And I know it's frustrating for you because you have Tyreek Hill on your fantasy team.
That's
right?
the most frustrating part.
That was why it was frustrating, right?
Yeah, I mean, fantasy football really dictates my mood.
Yes, it does.
The Steelers being 3-0 is great, but in the back of my head, I can't forget that my team is pretty bad.
Yeah,
pretty horrible.
What's the record at right now after 3 weeks?
We're at 1-2 right now. The interesting
better than mine.
The interesting thing in this league is that there are 3 3-0 teams, and the rest of the league is 1-2.
Wow.
I've never seen that before.
That is pretty. That's the opposite of parity, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very strange.
10-team league?
12.
12?
Yeah.
And 3 or 3-0?
Yeah.
And 9 or 1-2.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
It's
wow.
insane. I've never seen anything like it before. But these next few weeks are going to be make or break. If you're 0-3 in fantasy, you have a 12% chance of making the playoffs.
Oh, man. Well, that's what I'm staring at right now. That's what I'm
Really?
staring down the barrel of.
So if you go 0-4, I don't know what the percentage is, but it cannot be good.
I can't imagine it. Luckily, this week we are playing one of the other 0-3 teams in the league, so I got a chance
Someone's
to move
gonna
to
have a
1-3.
chance.
One of us has got a little bit of a slight glimmer of hope after this week, but either way, it's not looking great. Now, luckily, our league is a dynasty league. You can trade draft picks, same team every year. No, it's not even like a keeper where you keep a couple guys. You keep everyone.
Yeah.
Draft only rookies. I've got a lot of draft capital. I traded A.J. Brown, got a first-round pick.
That's big.
I traded a couple other guys. I got 2 firsts, 2 seconds, 3 thirds. We're loading up for the future, baby.
That's big.
We got Drake May on the bench. We're loading up, man.
But how long do you think that actually takes to pay off? Because, I mean, I feel
1
like
year.
rookies,
I know it takes 1 year, actually. We had our first 2 years, from our first year to our second, we had someone go worst to first.
Really?
Yeah.
But I was asking more like, how long does it take for these rookies to pan out?
I think quicker now than ever.
I agree.
Especially, in the NFL today. You look at
definitely
receivers like Marvin Harrison Jr. He's got, 3 touchdowns through 3 weeks? Of course, week 1 didn't start great, but
Malik Neighbors, he
looks like an all-star already. You look at C.J. Stroud from last year.
Yeah.
But, it can be kind of, as we say on this show, boom or doom. Because
we invented that.
Because someone else took Bryce Young and was really hoping for, high hopes for him, and now he's benched after 2 weeks, and Andy Dalton's taken over.
Was that the first pick in your dynasty?
The first pick was Marvin Harrison Jr.
When Bryce Young was drafted.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. I'm trying to think. I think maybe Bijan Robinson.
Oh, yeah.
I think might have been first. Actually, I'd have to pull up somewhere. We have the league history where you can go back and look at all the drafts.
I'm a freak for league history.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it?
It's so good. I compiled a spreadsheet.
You're that guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
NFL fantasy is not great. Sleeper, however, on the other hand, is amazing.
Sleeper's the way to go.
They should sponsor this show.
Sleeper is the way to go. We're not sponsored by them, but we'd like to be, as they say on the Rebel Radio show. We would happily be sponsored by Sleeper. Shout out to our league commissioner, Michael. He got us on Sleeper, and he didn't do any spreadsheets like you, but the first couple of years he would write us weeks in reviews. He would write 2 to 3 page long summaries of the weeks, wrapping up each team, wrapping up matchups, players to watch, stuff like that. He's fallen off a little bit now, I guess.
Oh, no.
It might be because he's in law school, so I guess he has some other stuff to look at. But, I picked up the slack for him a little bit last year as an unemployed guy.
Nice.
So, I was there for him. Yeah, exactly. Maybe
That's
not co-commish. I was the head of journalism in the league.
I
something
like
that.
I've given myself the title of president of the Players Association.
Okay, there you go.
Because the commissioner.
So you're not a player.
What do you mean?
You're a team owner.
Wow. We're all players in this league.
No, you guys are owners. The players are the NFL players.
Let's not look into it too deep. I'm a Players Association president because the commissioner just does not.
You should be the head of the coaches committee.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, that's what you should change your title to.
Yeah, that's something to think about, but I'm kind of committed to the Players Association.
You're too committed to the bit that you've already made.
But I think I might need to start writing these weeks in review.
It's fun. I've done it before. Now, usually it opens with a couple paragraphs long of just absolute bullshit that has nothing to do with the league.
Okay.
One week actually we went to the Browns game and our commissioner got a little sloppy and had a rough day for himself. So my entire that week I took over the week in review for him. My entire opening was just summarizing his Sunday afternoon, and what went wrong for him and what went right for him. Of course, what went right was very short list, but it's a good time. It definitely brings your friends together, which is really what fantasy football is all about. Like, At the end of the day, you're paying $100 to stay in a friend group and stay in a group message, right? That's what fantasy football is really about.
It's such a short season too. Like you think it's long, but then you're like, man, it's already week 4.
Yeah, it's already week 4, and I'm already pretty much out of the playoffs.
Yeah,
right?
that's the worst feeling.
That's why you got to be making trade. That's why I like our league too, because you're never out of it. You can always be thinking about this league.
Yeah.
Because I'm making trades. I'm thinking about next year. I'm thinking about how we're going to build this program.
Mm-hmm.
Right now I got Joe Burrow as our starting quarterback, and it's like, do I pull the trigger and move him? 2 years ago, everyone was begging for him. They were really wanting to give up first-round picks. I was like, no, he's my guy.
Can't.
And now, you look back, and it's like, maybe I should have.
Yeah.
But, of course, he did take us to the playoffs the first 2 years. Entering year 3, he doesn't look too great, but...
Yeah, he's been looking pretty rough. I said before we started recording that I think he might be the most overrated player in the NFL.
I mean, he's definitely up there as we hear the Bloomfield Fire Department going by outside. Hopefully you guys didn't or did hear that.
Probably did.
I mean, he's up there. He's definitely up there with most overrated. I think
really
that
can't think of many others.
his aura overtakes maybe his play because, aura is so huge nowadays.
Yeah.
And the Bengals social media team does a spectacular job with maintaining his aura. For the first 3 or 4 years of him being in Cincinnati, I don't think they posted a single picture of him smiling, which really made him look like Joe Cool. Joe Shiesty, Joe Burr. You hear them all.
Yeah, it's so good that they're 0-3 though.
It is pretty good.
We can both agree on that. The Ravens only having 1 win, that's also great.
We talked the first week of the season about the AFC North is the best division in football, and it has been for the last 2 decades, you said.
Yeah.
Without the Steelers, combined, the other 3 teams have 2 wins.
In the playoffs, you're saying?
No, this year.
This year, yeah.
This year. The division is 5-7.
I thought you were saying last 20 years, because that might be true, too.
I wouldn't doubt it. The Ravens have won a couple. The Browns won one against the Steelers. Can't forget about that.
I guess the
Browns actually have a more recent playoff win than the Steelers do. I always like to bring that up.
Playoff berths. From the Bengals and Browns
appearances
in the last 20 years, probably 3, right?
Oh, yeah. I would say
Super Bowl run,
the Steelers probably have more playoff appearances than, I don't know. I would say all 3 teams combined, but the Ravens, are pretty consistently up there. There's been a couple years where they've been off, but that would be an interesting statistic to look at.
Ravens might be the most consistent. I mean, Steelers and Ravens, probably the most consistent teams in the league.
Yeah. You think about other teams, I mean, like, Dallas is pretty much always up there, but of course, their playoff performance is a different thing to think about. But most consistent teams in the regular season, Chiefs are now, but over the past
Patriots
20 years, maybe not. Patriots, same thing for the first, for 30 years, 20 years, but now
the only
not
ones
quite
left,
as much.
The only ones left are the Ravens and Steelers. They've been doing it for the longest.
I would say 49ers, but they had a couple bad years there.
They were the worst team in the league.
Yeah, for a year or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were really bad.
And they
brought in Jimmy G.
Yeah.
And then he turned it around, and then they had to get rid of him. And
got nothing to show for it, though.
Not exactly. They've got 0 rings, 2 Super Bowl appearances. And I think that really shows like the psyche and the mindset of NFL franchises now, that we say that they have nothing to show for it, but if you're a Browns fan and you see a team that has been consistently good and wins 9 to 10 plus games a year and made it to 2 Super Bowls, it's like, yeah, I'd love that life.
Yeah, I kind of get that, but I think it would almost be more heartbreaking if you made it to a Super Bowl and lost.
I feel like that's the age-old question. I actually wrote an article about it in high school one year because the Browns went 0-16. And I think it was the same year, maybe the year before or after, that the Indians, now Guardians, went to the World Series and lost in Game 7 to the Cubs.
That had to have been
And it was kind of that question. It's like, well, would you rather have had that where you have this season full of excitement and highs, or it's like, I don't even have to watch. At least I don't have to stress about it because they stink and they're not going to win a single game. They didn't.
I remember when the Steelers lost to the Packers in the Super Bowl. I cried after that.
Yeah.
I was a kid.
A big loss. A big loss might be worse than having a whole season of heartbreak, but
there have been there haven't been awful Steelers seasons. There's been rough ones, but they've never hurt as bad as when Steelers lost to the Packers.
Well, they haven't had a losing season in 17, 18 years?
Yeah, but that year when we had Duck Hodges, there was fun.
Still a winning season,
moments.
though.
It was. But
a stressfully
rough.
winning season, right?
Yeah, and they didn't make the playoffs, I don't think.
No,
Duck didn't
I don't
win.
believe so. But so the question is, which one's better though? To have a great season where you don't get it done in the end, or to have a season where you don't have to worry about it at all? 216-859-8699. Text in and tell us your answer. Think about the Guardians in 2016. Think about the Browns in 2015, 16. I forget the year. 0-16. The sadness parade. You know, you choose what's best. 216-859-8699. This is Behind Enemy Lines.
Want to listen on the go? WSRR radio streams live 24/7, 365, absolutely free with the Live 365 app.
Welcome back to Behind Enemy Lines. I'm Lucas, and I'm joined by my good friend and co-host, Dom Ferro here. This segment of the show is brought to you by Hellbender Vinyl. Hellbender is Pittsburgh's first and only custom vinyl record pressing plant. Hellbent on quality, hellbent on service, Hellbender Vinyl. This is Behind Enemy Lines, your Cleveland sports show in Pittsburgh. I guess it's fitting that we used a Pittsburgh sponsor to bring in this segment of the show, and we're going to do that and then immediately talk about Cleveland sports. This week, the Guardians, again, this is being recorded on September 26th, Thursday. This week, the Guardians clinched a playoff berth against the Reds, had a big walk-off win against the Reds to clinch a playoff berth once again. And unfortunately, it's still a Browns town in Cleveland. I saw a tweet this week that said that someone was at the game. We walk off the Reds. We clinch a playoff berth. They're filing out of Progressive Field. And someone starts a "Here we go, Brownies, here we go." And personally, that would kind of harsh my vibe. I don't know. We just saw a team who's, one of the best teams in baseball, obviously got a lot of momentum going, clinching a playoff team. And now I got to start thinking about the 0-3 Browns who just lost to the Giants, who look terrible. Malik Neighbors this week, we mentioned him earlier that he already looks like an all-star. He just absolutely abused Martin Emerson this week. I don't understand the defensive game plan, why Martin Emerson Jr. was on him. I think Martin Emerson Jr. is a very talented corner, but he clearly couldn't match up. I think they should have made an adjustment at one point or another, brought Denzel Ward over on him. I think that Malik Neighbors isn't like a DK Metcalf type where he's way bigger than Denzel Ward, so he's just going to kind of push him around and get super physical. Mm-hmm. I think he is a physical enough receiver, but he's a finesse guy. He's a route runner. He's fast.
Who do you think he's most comparable to?
That's a good, probably Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both LSU guys, but they both kind of move similar in the way that they run routes. I saw it a lot this weekend, again, because he just dominated the Browns secondary.
Yeah. He's like a bigger,
he's a little bit bigger, yeah.
No, a bigger, muscular Devontae Smith.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
What I'm seeing.
So
much control.
Yes,
like that
crazy
touchdown
body
he had
control
in that game, insane.
Which I think is another thing that you see from Justin Jefferson as well.
Yeah.
He just has insane body control.
Yeah.
And he can run any route in the book. He can outrun any guy, it seems like, and he's got real game speed. I don't know what his 40 time was, but you look at that and you look at his game speed, and it's almost like, man, those are two different things.
Yeah. You knew he was going to be a stud as soon as the Giants drafted him. One, because they had no one else on that team to throw to.
That's what was most upsetting as a Browns fan watching their defensive performance this week, was because I watched a little bit of the Commanders-Giants game the week before, and it's clearly all right, he's the only guy they have to throw to. They're going to throw to Malik Neighbors. They have Daniel Jones, who is a little bit less than stellar quarterback, in New York, and he's got one really good receiver. He's going to go to him as much as possible, right?
That stuff drives me nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a testament to how good they are.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's let the third wide receiver beat us.
Yeah.
It's double team that guy, put your best guy on wide receiver 2. Let the third guy beat you.
It's almost like in basketball when you have a guy who's all right, he's bigger and stronger than me. He can drive by me, or he's a little quicker than me. I'm going to sag off. And like, if you're going to shoot a three and make it, so be it. But like, I'm going to make you make a three to beat me.
Yeah.
And like, you're going to have to make 4 threes today to beat me. Cause I'm not going to let you drive by me.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like, my dad was a defensive coordinator for 30 years. Of course, it's high school football. It's a lot different. But like, he would always say like, all right, their running back's their best guy. We're going to clog the line of scrimmage. We're not going to give up the run. If they throw for 200, 300 yards today and 4 touchdowns, like, so be it.
Mm-hmm.
They beat us. But I don't trust that their quarterback's going to do it. Like, again, it's different because it's the NFL and like the Giants' third receiver is still better than anyone anywhere else, like outside of the NFL. Like Wan'Dale Robinson or Jalen Hyatt, like are still very good, spectacular athletes, but like make an effort to be like, all right, this is their number one guy. We're going to stop him. Yeah. Malik Neighbors has 23 catches
Ballin'.
through 3 games. Like,
he's unstoppable.
Yeah, it seems that way. And again, it's not like he's got Mahomes throwing to him.
Sometimes there are guys that you just can't stop, though.
Yeah. And that's how it seems. It seems like he's getting wide open. He's getting so much separation on tons of routes, too.
With the Steelers game coming up, Anthony Richardson, he's not a good quarterback, and I feel like you got to make him pass.
Yeah. But he's shown an ability. I saw a tweet this week. Again, I'm all over Twitter, baby.
X.
I'm all over X. That's right. That said, it showed some of the Anthony Richardson throws, like especially from week 1, where don't put that Zin in your pocket. Just go throw it out.
We're doing a show here.
We got a trash cans right there. Go in there and throw that out. Take that out of your pocket. That's disgusting. You just took a Zin out of your lip and put it in your pocket. You're wild for that.
Here. We're doing a show.
You're wild for that. Anyways, against the Texans week 1, Anthony Richardson's throwing like 70-yard bombs down the field right off his back foot.
Yeah.
It's like, man, he can make throws that 99% of quarterbacks can't make.
Yeah.
And then he throws across the field like to a wide open guy and it's a pick. And it's like, he also can't make throws that 99% of quarterbacks can make. You know what I'm trying to say there?
I
don't know if that got lost in translation. I think that was better as a print.
No, you're exactly right. He can't make He can't make the throws that he should be able to make.
Yeah, but it's kind of like one of those receivers like who makes the one-handed diving catches, but then you hit him in the chest and he drops it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which it seems like is another common thing in Cleveland.
I was in on Anthony Richardson for a while. I'm out now. I'm out on him.
I mean, he's a freak athlete.
He is, but it doesn't. So is Lamar Jackson.
Well, that's different.
So is Justin Fields.
Well, again, those two guys I think are both a lot more productive thus far than Anthony Richardson has been. I compare him more to like Joe Milton, who's on the Patriots now.
Yeah, Joe Milton stinks.
Huge rocket arm, huge guy, probably a huge weight room guy, like can probably out bench and out deadlift and squat pretty much anyone. He's probably, lifting with the linebackers groups and stuff like that, which, another guy who did that is like Jalen Hurts. But again, that doesn't perfectly translate, which I think you're seeing with Anthony Richardson and Joe Milton.
Yeah, I think Anthony Richardson's going to be out of the league in 3 years.
I think you are way over dramatic when you say out of the league.
When I say
last week you said, I think if Trevor Lawrence is out of the league in a couple of years, he's not going to be out of the league.
But when you're a backup, when you get drafted in the first round, you're out of the league.
That's not out of the league.
In my mind, you're out.
Well, in my mind, he's still making millions of dollars a year to play a kid's sport, so I wouldn't say he's out of the league.
You're right about that. I mean, it's the best job in the world to
exactly.
be a quarterback. But Trevor Lawrence, if you're a backup somewhere, you're done. Mac Jones is done. He's out of the league for all I care.
Well, now you're talking about how bad Trevor Lawrence is. Mac Jones is his backup. He might be playing this year. So is he out of the league?
Trevor Lawrence is finishing the year. It doesn't matter how bad he is.
Is he, though? If they're 0-3 right now.
Yeah, they could go.
What do you think it would take for them to put Mac Jones in?
I don't know. I have no clue. 0-10? It wouldn't happen. I think they still go with Trevor Lawrence.
Is there 0-10?
Yeah.
Well, he's their franchise guy.
They fired Doug Peterson is what they do.
He's their franchise guy, though. Don't you think they protect him for the future?
Trevor?
Yeah, if they're 0-10?
I guess that's a fair point. Like, what's the point of playing here? At the same point, you got to get this guy reps if he's not improving.
Put butts in the seats, I guess.
I guess so. But even if Mac Jones comes in at 0-10 situation, It's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, but he's in the league.
I mean, yes, he's in
When
the
you
league.
think about it from a broad standpoint, step back and, be one of those guys who's like, it's just football at the end of the day. Like, you know what I mean? There's some of those guys who are like, hey, man, it's just football at the end of the day. There's some quarterbacks in the league like that. When you say out of the league, I always end up taking that standpoint where I'm like, he's getting paid millions of dollars to sit on the bench and go to meetings all day. And
yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. But
sounds pretty cool to me. I'll take that job.
There are a lot of exceptions, like Baker Mayfield, when he was in backup role. He wasn't out of the league. He still had a chance. There are guys in my head who I'm like, yeah, they still have a chance.
Well, when he was in Carolina and he got benched for Sam Darnold, would you have said he was out of the league?
I mean, probably back then I probably
exactly.
thought that.
So maybe just hold your horses. That's
Baker
what I'm
Mayfield
saying.
is a rare exception, though. There aren't many quarterbacks who
Andy Dalton.
done that. Andy Dalton.
Sam Darnold right now. You're looking at multiple guys
Sam Darnold
right now who have done that.
I don't know. It just depends. It really depends.
I mean, I think you'd be surprised. Like, look at Nick Foles. Nick Foles came from being a backup and, ended up being a Super Bowl MVP, right?
Yeah,
he won MVP that year.
Yeah, but then he left Philly and he was out of the league. Went to the Bears.
Well, yeah, but still, when he was the backup, would you have said he's out of the league? I think people sleep on how important an NFL backup is.
It is important. It's
which
very
I think
important.
has been shown, especially in the last couple of years, where more quarterbacks have taken snaps than any years prior. Like last year, I think there's more quarterbacks who started games than ever before in the NFL.
Yeah, but there's also very little opportunity to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. Like, there are guys who had really good moments, and they just never will get a shot again.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking like Nick Mullins.
But he's still in the league, though, is what I'm saying. He's getting paid. He's making way more money than either of us are to throw a football.
But he doesn't throw a football. In practice, he does.
In practice, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even if he's a practice squad quarterback, he's making six figures, or maybe more, to go out there and huck a pigskin around. That's the dream. How great is catching stuff, huh?
It's the best.
Playing catch with your pals.
I think the biggest. I don't know what I'm thinking here, but if you can't throw a baseball, like I don't know.
I have a pretty bad arm.
I feel like
throwing a baseball.
Didn't have a father.
Wow.
Yeah.
Going to the
Or
parental.
a great father. A man should be able to throw a baseball.
I don't know about that. I can't throw a baseball very well.
Sure, you can. You know the fundamentals of throwing a baseball.
I used to be way better, but then after years of not, I'm pretty bad. I have a bad arm.
There are people you see throw a ball and you're like, oh, they've never.
Yes.
No one ever taught them how to throw a ball. That's what I'm trying to say.
But maybe they're good at other stuff.
Well, yeah, of course. Everyone's great at their own thing.
Yeah.
But I mean,
That doesn't make them less of a man, Dom. Take it easy, man. It's 2024.
listen, you got to be able to throw a baseball.
How often do you throw a baseball? When's the last time you've thrown a baseball?
In 6 years. But I know I can throw a baseball when the time comes.
I bet you would be surprised how bad you are at throwing a baseball if you haven't done it in 6 years.
I don't think I'd be good, but I think
It takes repetition, man.
No, you can throw a ball.
I think you'd be surprised.
I know the motion in my head right now. Like, that's all it is, the motion. If you got the motion down.
Yeah,
Then,
and you can be nonchalant with it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where the ball goes, but you got to look like you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I don't know if that's right either, though. If it's a good throw, but you look weird.
No, you should. No, I'm saying
I'm saying the opposite. What if you look weird and you look like you have weird form, but it's a piss missile right into the guy's chest?
they're like defying.
Then you're like, oh, okay.
They're like defying physics. Then
You don't know that, like, I don't know. It looks weird, but it gets there. Gets there with some zip on it too.
I think that works with a football. Baseball, I don't think it works the same way.
I think you'd be surprised because some people, there's a form to throw a baseball. It's different than form to throw a football, and some people throw a baseball different.
But yeah, it's definitely different. That's what I'm saying. A baseball is the fundamental. You need to know that. You need to understand how to throw a baseball to make it in life.
I think you throw a baseball, though. I think throwing a baseball is less common than throwing a football because it takes more equipment. How often do you go to a tailgate or a party or something, and you have a glove on hand? There's more often where it's like, oh, there's a football. We have everything we need to have a good time because there's a pigskin right there.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, there's a baseball. It's like, Well, does anyone have a mitt? Does anyone have
Yeah. I
a
mean,
bat?
baseball, it's more of like a thing you learn when you're growing up. That's why I originally said, like, someone's got to teach you how to do this at a young age.
I think catching needs to be more appreciated in the world. I think there's like if you could talk to me about like the little things in life, I think one of the biggest little things in life is catching to me. Like
Football?
anything. You know, a football is great. Like you and your pals throw a football around at a party or like even just in the living room, like sitting around watching football, like watching TV in like your college dorm or something like that.
Yeah.
Tossing something, anything to each other.
Yeah.
Foam ball, football, you know, like whatever. Pretty much anything though, like someone tosses you keys and you catch them with one hand. How good is that feeling?
Feels great.
Right? When you catch
something that you had no right catching.
That's right.
That's the best.
The best catch, which does go along with that, something you didn't have like any ability to catch, is something an unexpected catch.
Yeah.
Something falls from a shelf.
Exactly.
Throw your hand under it quick.
Like, holy crap!
And
I just catch that.
Am I Spider-Man?
Yeah.
That type of feel.
Oh my god!
Sometimes I'll set myself up. Sometimes I'll put like a can of soup like in the cupboard, like kind of leaning out, so when I open the door, it comes out. Oh,
next time,
make the catch.
like
yeah.
the next day, you catch it.
And it's like, oh my god, I forgot about that. Good catch. You know, that's how you really set yourself up for success.
I don't go that far, but I like that.
I'm just kidding. I don't actually do that. That's part of my stand-up bit. What do you think of it?
I love that. I think you need to
part
bring
of
that on
my bit.
stage.
You know what I think the toughest one is though? The toughest unexpected catch is the catch in the shower. Because everything's wet and soapy.
That one's almost
Sometimes
impossible.
It is, but it's a great feeling though. You're using the bar of soap and it's wet and soapy, and you're going around and it slips out of the hand, and then you bat it up with the other one back to the original hand. You catch it. Oh my god!
Better feeling when you're batting.
When you bobble it a little bit,
when you got a couple bobbles,
and then you got to look over at the ref and go and do the bobble hands like in the NFL. You put the catch symbol. It's a catch. First down. That's the best feeling. Sometimes I'll rub the bar soap extra hard on me so that I'll try to get it to slip out of my hands. That's the best.
Better when you do it in front of someone too. You're like, you see that shit?
Yes, you turn, you look around the room to see someone at work that you barely talk to, and you just point them right in the face.
Yeah.
You saw that, right? Huh?
I know you saw that.
You like that, huh? Give him a little Kirk Cousins. You like that. That's the best feeling, yeah.
It is.
I've been working on that stand-up bit for a while. What do you think of it?
I like that.
Catching things. I think it's a huge part of my life. There's nothing but like
joke.
if someone picks up a football and starts throwing to you and you're just like, I could be there for hours just chucking a football. Me and my friends, we visited a high school friend who moved to Florida last January, 2 Januaries ago, whenever it was. And we went out on the beach and we threw a football for probably 3 hours.
Yeah, no, that's
just
crazy.
Throwing it as far as we could to each other, making diving catches as 24-year-olds.
Yeah, it's simple.
Yeah,
it's good.
It is simple. That's the beauty of it. It's childlike wonder.
Mm-hmm. See, at the beach, you said this is at night.
No, it was during the day.
Yeah, I can't throw a football
during the day.
During the day. It's sunset.
Why does that make a difference?
The sand is so hot. The sand is
well. It was during January,
hot.
So it was kind of cool. Like we didn't go in the water. We were there for a full 4 days, I think.
So you were wearing jackets at the beach?
No. But like it was warm enough to be outside and be shirtless.
What beach?
Clearwater Beach. Where? It's outside of Tampa Bay.
Oh, okay. It's in Florida.
Yeah, in Florida.
Oh, you were like talking like New Jersey or
Delaware,
Maryland.
No, I'm not talking about like Huntington Beach in Cleveland. This isn't the beach on Lake Erie. No, this was in Florida. Like it's warm. The sun is out. But the water's
like 70
cold.
degrees.
Yeah. The water's too cold to like, I'll dip my ankles in a little bit, maybe do like a cold plunge, but.
That sounds all right.
Yeah.
You go in the middle of the summer.
It's
try
too
to throw
hot.
a football on the beach.
Way too hot in the summer. Way too hot in the middle of the summer.
Throw
Florida's
a ball
no-go.
for about 20 minutes. I'm done, yo.
You walk outside and I'm like, I'm done, yo.
Pretty much.
I got to take a shower if I walk outside in Florida.
Really?
I couldn't live down there.
Getting a potential spam call. Should I take this live?
Yeah. Go ahead. Take it. What do we got?
You're now calling in. What do you want to talk about?
Hello, Dominic.
Can I call you back later?
It's probably a political ad. I'm getting crazy political ads right now. I'm sick of it.
What was that?
Yeah, I can call you back tomorrow.
Who is this?
This is Alex with Northstar Roofing. I was trying to set an appointment for us to combine. We're doing a free roof inspection in the area. Making sure the health
Northside
of the
Roofing. Dom
family.
lives in an apartment
See,
building.
yeah, I live in an apartment, so
Okay. Well, thank you for your time, Dominic. You have a great day, sir.
yeah, you as well. Have a good one.
What a good
First
guy.
caller of Behind Enemy Lines history. Thank you.
Northside Roofing. I like it. I need a roofer right now, actually,
Really?
for a client of mine. Yeah.
Okay, that's big. You might have to look into that.
I might have to look into that Northside Roofing and
Free
Alex
plug.
or Alice, however you say his name.
I thought that was
Interesting
gonna
that
be
a
more-
roofing company is calling you at 7:30 at night.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna be a more serious call when he knew my name.
Oh, they
I thought it
always
was
know
gonna be
your
like,
name.
Dominic, you need to get into the doctor's office or something
Whoa.
crazy, or you need to pay some bill.
Doctor's office. You all right?
I think so. But you
Oh,
never
good.
know. That was a scary call for a little bit. Dominic,
this-
you're under arrest. Get to the police station now.
You think
Turn
they would
yourself
call
in.
you for that? There's a warrant out for your arrest.
Turn yourself in now. Well, how would they let you know?
What? There's a warrant out for your
Like,
arrest?
to-
I don't know.
To turn yourself in.
Don't they just? I don't know.
Knock at
They
the
should
door,
call
drop
you.
a letter
They
at
leave a
the-
letter to you? I don't know.
Slide a letter under my apartment door.
There was. These are the questions that you'll only hear on Behind Enemy Lines. 216-859-8699. Text or call us in. Let us know your favorite telemarketer call. Welcome back to Behind Enemy Lines. This last segment of the show is brought to you by GenericClothes.com. Nobody cares about the details. Get to the point at GenericClothes.com. You're listening to Behind Enemy Lines on WSRR Radio. Make the switch. We're nationally local.
Hey, this is Billy from 2 Mile Moon, and you are listening to WSRR Radio, Saving Underground Radio, live 24/7, 365.
In the distant future, we'll both feel nothing. I know you had wished it amounted to something.
Save money, live better, WSRR.
That's Walmart. That is Walmart.
Could work though.
That's
Listen to us on the Live 365 app or look us up at WSRRradio.com or WSRRradio.com if you want to do like one less R. I don't know.
Whatever you want.
I feel like I heard someone else say that once, so I just wanted to use it. Maybe it was Shane on a different show. Dom, you were at the Steelers game this week.
That's right.
You were at Acrisure Stadium, formerly Heinz Field. You saw the Steelers triumph over the I almost said San Diego, the LA Chargers.
Doesn't seem right.
I know, right? Even after all these
Never
years,
seemed
they're
right.
still the San Diego Chargers, right?
Forever.
Dom, you had great seats too. I mean, you're like what, a couple rows back?
Yeah. Five
Five rows back.
yeah.
He gets these through
Uh,
his boss at Arthur Mote's Experience. Check out Dom, by the way, on the Arthur Mote's YouTube page on Turf Watch. Does a little Steelers preview for each week. Fires me up.
former linebacker for the Bills, the Steelers, and the Cardinals. He's a good dude. Good show. Great podcast. So check that out too if you're interested in some
He has to
Steelers
say that
content.
he's employed by them, but not as good of a show as this, right?
Not
No.
quite. This one's the best. This one's the best out there. I mean, what else do you want from this
The
show?
best there ever was, the best there ever will be.
Yep.
But Dom, you were at the game. You go to a couple games, a lot of Steelers home games with your buddy Arthur there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you miss being on your couch when you're there? I mean, I feel like going to an NFL game is awesome. I've gone to a handful of live games, but in all honesty, maybe it's because a lot of Sundays in my past, like during college, I was hungover and just wanted to hang out on a Sunday and
Yeah.
rot
Get
on the
that.
couch. But I feel like watching multiple NFL games at the same time on the TV, another TV, a laptop maybe, NFL
Mhm.
Red Zone, like you order a pizza in or maybe some Chinese
There
or
you go.
wings.
Yeah.
Like, can that really be beat?
I mean, yeah, because food is so expensive at these.
Yeah, that's the other thing is
Places
like
too.
one, the food I feel like isn't that great. If you
Oh,
really
no.
get good, if you really get
It's horrible.
good stadium food, it's like at the places that are really, really expensive.
Yeah.
But like even like a crappy hot dog is like $10.
Ridiculous.
Right?
It should be $1 every single night.
Yeah, you should just go to or Costco and
Yeah.
get like 7.
Big joints.
And sit, the big Johns.
Mm-hmm.
And sit on your couch and have those instead, right? It's more cost efficient.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're at an NFL game too, it's almost hard to know what's going on. It's harder to know what's going on in the game.
Definitely.
Right? You don't get to see, I mean, they show it up on the Jumbotron a lot, but like, you don't get to see all the angles on reviews. You don't get to hear like, as much as sometimes people hate like when Mike Pereira, the NFL, the past NFL officials come in and talk about like what is and isn't legal. Some people hate that, but like really sometimes they give good insight where they're like, well, the rule actually is that this, so this would count as that. Like you don't get to know that. I feel like a lot of people don't like that.
Really?
Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't mind it.
I don't mind it at all.
I don't love it, but it's good to educate people who are watching.
You're neither here nor there.
Yeah, I mean, I can deal with it. I can do without it, but I think it makes sense to have in a broadcast.
Yeah, right.
Because it doesn't make any sense for these color guys because they don't really know the rules of the game.
Yeah,
well, they do, but they don't know like the rule book. They aren't.
Yeah, they don't know the ins and outs sometimes. Where it's like, well, technically this is whatever, but I just feel like you're getting way more information when you're on your own couch. You're in the comfort of your own home. You're not spending hundreds plus on tickets. You're not spending, $50 on chicken tenders and fries and
a beer.
And a beer.
The thing, just the NFL on television is such a good product.
It is.
It is the perfect.
It is the best show on earth. It's the best reality TV show, really.
And it's so much better than any other sport too.
Yeah.
Because I go to a baseball game. I love going to a baseball game. I think it's so much more
there are some sports that are better, way better in person.
Yeah.
Baseball, hockey, even.
Hockey's probably better in person.
Hockey's good on TV.
Yeah, it's a good product, but basketball is better on television, I think.
Yeah, you think so?
I think so. Not much better, but it is. I think it's slightly better. But NFL, so much better.
Personally, maybe it's because. Go ahead.
There's such a good experience though, like going to a football game. Like going to one or two a year, that's great.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is very nice.
Season tickets, I feel like if I purchase...
That's too much.
I don't think I would purchase season tickets. Unless
you resell them.
Yeah. But that can be tough, though, if the team's bad, I feel like.
That is true.
But
it's an investment.
I really, really like going to Steelers games. I love doing some work there and watching the games. But you're right, television, it's really... You get so much information. You get... so much different like games coming in too.
Yeah, that's the thing is like even if you're just watching one game, you get like the game breaks and the ticker on the bottom where like you're getting updates on other games. And maybe it's because like fantasy football now and like people want to know more about everything going on around the league and like I think that fandom in the NFL has shifted a little bit. Like, and I've wrote art. I remember in college I wrote a couple papers on this like that. People are more fans of players now than they are of entire teams.
Yeah.
So I think people want to keep up with different players, whether they are in or out of their market.
Mm-hmm.
But like, that's what people do on Sundays now. They like, I'm watching the Browns game and I'm like, oh, I wonder what the Bills are doing right now. Like, oh, like the Chiefs are obviously really good. Like, oh, the Chiefs are losing. Like, oh, I'm going to switch over to this or look it up on my phone. Like, see what's going on there. Like, I feel like if you're at a game, like, they have the screens up where they're like scores around the league, but like, one, they're not showing them all the time sometimes.
No.
And two, it's like, you're not paying attention to that. Yeah. Obviously, there's 50,000 other things to look at.
Yeah. The Steelers scoreboard shows some scores, but I never look at the scores really. But with the Steelers scoreboard, they come in sometimes with like some game updates. They'll show like footage of other games happening at the same time. And they were showing the Browns get beat by the Giants there. And
of course they were.
People were cheering that on. But they didn't show any other game from the 1 o'clock window except that Browns game.
It's because they just wanted to rub it in.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably.
Like the Giants score another one.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. Thanks for making me think about it again.
Yeah, I had to end it on a high note for all those Cleveland listeners.
Yeah, well, I just personally, like, you got to deal with parking. You got to deal with plans pre and post. Like
that's another thing.
If you're going to tailgate,
I'm lucky I live close enough to the stadium where I can walk there.
Yeah, you're
right. If I
had
had to drive there,
Shore.
I think it would make it a lot worse.
Oh my god, yeah. Because that's another $50 you got to pay for parking
easily.
Oh,
$50 doesn't even get you close. I feel like to the stadium. Like you're still gonna have to walk
The cost alone makes it where like yeah you got to pay what's NFL Sunday ticket for the year is like $100. So like even if you do that, but like personally, I don't endorse illegal activities, but Stream East is a spectacular website. Crack streams,
Meth streams.
Buff streams, all the best websites.
All the best stuff.
For I don't want to say illegal, but illegal streaming.
It's not illegal for you to peruse a website.
Isn't it?
I think it's illegal for them to make the website.
Yeah. Am I
For us
engaging in illegal activity if I'm going on the website?
I don't think if someone goes on the website, they'll be
See, that's
breaking a law.
Some people would say like you're stealing though, because I'm stealing from.
They're stealing. You're just viewing.
Yeah, but I'm
webpage.
also stealing because I'm taking away the $100 that I should be giving to the NFL. Now, I'm not saying that's a good argument because like they're making enough money. They're fine.
Yeah.
That's always my argument. Like my $100 is going to make a bigger impact on whether or not I pay rent this month than my $100 is going to make on the NFL.
Roger Goodell's pockets.
Exactly.
Yeah. I agree with that. I don't think there's any reason it should be as expensive as it is to watch football games.
No. I think TV in general is in an insane like area right now where obviously streaming is king.
Mm-hmm.
But like you got to pay for all that. Like every streaming service, it's kind of like at one point cable, there was standard cable that came with like a house, right? Where it was just like you plug in and you get like maybe 5 channels, but like you get ABC, NBC, like
That
1
does
through
sound
5.
right. Yeah, I believe
Right?
so.
Am I old enough? Does that make me old if I know that?
No, that sounds right to me.
I feel
It's
like
like public access. No,
Yeah.
that's not public access, but yeah, if you
there
like,
was some type of TV where it was like, all right, well, at least like no matter what, I can watch the news.
yeah, and I
Right.
can watch Monday Night Football or
Yeah, exactly.
Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, because they would have it on NBC.
Yeah,
And I think you would get Fox as well, because Fox is like channel
Yep.
3 or something like that.
CBS as well. You'd get the 1:00
Yeah.
games and 4:30 games there.
Yeah, where now you got to pay for everything, which I mean, capitalism, baby.
Yeah, they gotta
Right.
keep making more money.
The NFL is the NFL a monopoly? Should we be talking about the NFL?
Should we be?
Are they a
Probably
monopoly?
not. Probably not. Probably shouldn't be talking about the NFL. I'd love to work for the NFL.
Yeah, it would be great.
So if they ever listen to this, they would not hire me.
No, they could hire us.
Yeah, I just want to improve the league.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
we're
saying.
yeah, exactly. We're focused on fan experience.
Exactly.
Is it like I think part of fan experience in NFL stadiums should be offering red zone, like
Yeah.
on your phone or something.
Yeah.
I guess that kind of takes away from being at the game, but like,
Get some
what if they
headsets
just
in
had?
there.
What if they just had a screen like up next to the jumbotron that was always playing red zone? It kind of wouldn't be a bad
Yeah,
idea.
it's not an awful idea.
Because I think there are a lot of people who have this conversation where they're like, I don't even want to go to the game. I don't even want to deal with parking and like blah, blah, blah. And like, it is nice to be able to watch a lot of games at the same time.
But
or,
how
like,
often would you be looking up at that screen?
that's the thing. I thought that
I
originally,
guess
but,
there are a lot of TV breaks.
but that's the thing that's what makes the NFL, the football, a perfect TV sport is that there are breaks. Like you can watch for 6 seconds at a time and then take a minute break.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
it's kind of like, all right, I watched the play on the field for 6 seconds. Now I can look up at the big screen and watch that for 30 seconds and see what the Bills and the Bengals and like whoever else around the league are doing.
You ever see like those memes where it's not even a meme. It's just like TikToks where it's like a Joe Rogan
Subway
podcast.
Surfer?
It's like a Joe Rogan podcast on top, and then it's like Temple Run.
Yes, those
on
are the best.
bottom.
I love those.
Yeah, but like that's what we're gonna turn the NFL into.
Yeah, pretty much.
Put Temple,
I'm cool with that.
Put Temple Run on the jumbotron next to the red zone, and then put
Yeah, it's always Subway Surfer.
yeah Subway servers. Put that on top of it too. Just
It's, I mean, yeah, it's just,
or everyone's attention span is screwed.
yeah, everyone has ADD.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, but that's kind of why the NFL is such a good TV sport,
It's
is
the original
because,
TikTok.
yeah, maybe football being structured the way it is has contributed to, maybe I'm going way big
Getting
brain
deep,
and out
yeah.
of my
Getting
mind.
philosophical.
Maybe football, the structure of football and the popularity of it in America has contributed to the shortening attention spans of people around the nation because you only got to pay attention for 6 seconds at a time. Then you can look at your phone. You can look at other scores. They're showing cheerleaders, like whatever. Like they're just showing a bunch of different stuff. You got dips. That's why like NFL Super Bowl parties are so great because like you can just like be eating snacks and stuff like that. And then you got to pay attention in another minute for another 6 seconds.
Bread and circuses.
Bread and circuses?
Yeah, you ever hear that?
No, what's that?
Well, I saw this tweet online. Well, obviously it was online. But
you saw a printed out tweet? Someone gave me this piece of paper with a tweet printed on it.
This guy went to a college football game with his dad. And they took shrooms before they went to this game.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they were just like watching the game. And then he turned to his dad halfway through and he's like, bread and circuses. Which is like, it's like an ancient Roman thing where it's like the gladiators, like they'd give them bread, they'd give them entertainment just to keep them distracted.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm not really a conspiracy theorist. I don't think NFL is into that, but that's all it is.
As much as I don't know like that, at the same time, the second you said bread and circuses, I got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't really know what you're saying, but like, I'm like, yeah, I got it.
Eat some chicken tenders, drink some beer, watch some dudes
smash each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa. Pause.
Bang each other.
Give each other CTE.
Orangutan banging.
What was that? What?
We'll have to see that one for the next episode.
You got crazy references today.
Yeah, my references are on fire today.
Yeah, my big brain theory for the day, we got 30 seconds left, is that the popularization of football in America has contributed to people's shortened attention spans and things like the creation of TikTok and things like that. Like you watch soccer.
The butterfly effect. There would be no TikTok without the NFL.
You watch soccer, you got to watch it for the full 90 minutes. Like you can't miss. Like you can kind of miss some of it, but it's like something could happen at any second.
You can miss 90% of that.
Yes, but it's a continuous for the full 90 minutes. Is what I'm saying.
If you look away for a minute, you might miss the only action the entire game.
That's right, and you can't look away at this show for a minute because we might shift to a new context, a new topic, and you have no clue what we're talking about. This is 216. Excuse me, this is Behind Enemy Lines. You can call or talk to us. Text us at 216-859-8699. Thanks for listening. I'm Lucas. I've been here with Dom. Dom, say it.
Peace.
Preceding program is a StylesRebelRadio.com production.